It's peacetime within the realm of Arthur. England, Scotland, Cornwall, Wales are now united under Arthur's banner. Arthur, based at Camelot with the Knights of the Round Table, has amongst his number the bravest, toughest, purest knight in all the realm, Sir Balin. But a heavy prophecy has been laid upon Sir Balin. Sir Balin has been told that he will cause the death of the man he holds most dear and lead to the destruction of himself. So far, we've seen Balin go on adventures across the realm. His latest adventure has just come to a climax where he's chased down the invisible knight and slew him, and in doing so caused the destruction of an entire castle. We begin tonight's tale with Sir Balin trapped under the castle's rubble. Has Balin met his fate already? Is Balin already dead? Let's find out. Then Merlin came thither and took up Balin and gave him a good horse, for his own was dead, and bade him to ride out of that country. I would have my damsel, said Balin. Lo, said Merlin, where she lieth, she is dead. And King Pellam lay so many years sore wounded, and might never be whole, till Galahad, the haughty prince, heals him in the quest of the Grail. For in that place was part of the blood of our Lord Jesus Christ, that Joseph of Arimathea brought into this land, and there himself lay in that rich bed. And that was the same spear that Longus smote our Lord to the heart. And King Pellam was nigh of Joseph's kin, and that was the most worshipful man that lived in those days. And great pity it was of his hurt, for through that stroke turned to great due Tray and Tain. Then departed Balin from Merlin, and said, In this world we meet never no more. And so he rode forth through the fair countries and cities, and found the people dead, slain on every side. And all that were alive cried, O Balin, thou hast caused great damage in these countries. For the terrible stroke that thou gavest unto King Pellam, 3 countries were destroyed, and doubt not but the vengeance will fall on thee at the last. When Balin was past those countries, he was passing fine. And so he rode 8 days on, and he met with adventure. And at the last he came into a fair forest in a valley, and was ware of a tower. And there beside he saw a great horse of war tied to a tree. And there beside sat a fair knight on the ground, and made great mourning. And he was a likely man, and a well-made man. And Balin said, God save you. Why ye be so heavy? Tell me, and I will amend it, if it was in my power. Sir knight, said he, thou doest me great grief, for I was merry in thoughts, and now thou puttest me to more pain. Balin went a little from him, and looked on his horse. Then heard Balin him say thus, Ah, fair lady, why have ye broken my promise? For thou promised me to meet him here by noon, and I may curse thee that ever ye gave me this sword, for with this sword I slay myself. And he pulled it out, and therewith Balin strode unto him, and took it from his hand. Let go my hand, said the knight, or else I shall slay thee. That shall not need, said Balin, for I shall promise you my help to get you your lady, and you will tell me where she is. What is your name, said the knight. My name is Balin le Savage. Ah, sir, I know you well enough. Ye are the knight with 2 swords, and the man of most prowess of your hands living. What is your name, said Balin. My name is Garnish of the Mount, a poor man's son, but by my prowess and hardiness a duke hath made me a knight and gave me lands. His name is Duke Hermal, and his daughter, it is she that I love, and she and I deemed to live, and she as I deemed. How far is she hence, said Balin. But 6 miles, said the knight. Now ride we hence, said these 2 knights. And so they rode more than a pace, till they came to a fair castle, well walled and ditched. I will into the castle, said Balin, and look if she be there. And so he went in, and searched from chamber to chamber, and found her bed, but she was not there. Then Balin looked into a fair little garden, and under a laurel tree he saw her lie upon a quilt of green samite, and a knight in her arms, fast hastening either other, and under their heads grass and herbs. When Balin saw her lie so with the foulest knight that ever he saw, and she a fair lady, then Balin went through all the chambers again, and told the knight how he found her, and she had slept fast, and so brought him in the place where she lay fast sleeping. So, my friends, Balin, rescued from the rubble by Merlin, has travelled through that kingdom and found that not only did the terrible strike that he caused lay the entire castle to ruin, it has caused an entire kingdom to go to ruin. There are dead lying in the streets as Balin goes past. Merlin has told Balin to get out of that country as quickly as possible, but he stopped midway through upon finding a knight waiting for his lover, beside himself with grief that she has not turned up. Balin has saved that knight from committing suicide and gone with him to find what's happened to the knight's lover. Now we find that knight's lover in the arms of another man, and Balin has brought this knight to see the truth. When Garnish beheld her so lying, for pure sorrow his mouth and nose burst out of bleeding, and with his sword he smote off both of their heads. And then he made sorrow out of measure, and said, O Balin, much sorrow hast thou brought unto me, for hadst thou not showed me that sight, I would have passed my sorrow. Forsooth, said Balin, I did it to this intent, that it should better thy courage, and that ye might see and know her falsehood, and to cause you to leave love of such a lady. God knoweth I did no other but as I would ye did to me. Alas, said Garnish, now is my sorrow double, that I may not endure now I have slain that I most loved in all my life. And therewith suddenly he rose himself of his own sword unto the hilts. When Balin saw that, he dressed him thenceward, lest folk would say he had slain them. And so he rode forth again, and within 3 days he came by a cross, and thereon were letters of gold written that said, It is not for no knight alone to ride toward this castle. Then he saw how an old gentleman coming toward him said, Balin le Savage, thou pass thy bounds to come this way. Therefore turn again, and it will avail thee. And he vanished away anon. And so he heard a horn blow, as it had been the death of a beast. That blast, said Balin, is a blow for me, for I am the prize, and yet am I not dead? Anon, withal, he saw 100 ladies and many knights that welcomed him with fair semblance, and made him passing good cheer unto his sight, and led him into the castle. And there was dancing and minstrelsy, and all manner of joy. And then the chief lady of the castle said, Knight, with the 2 swords, ye must have ado, and joust with a knight hereby that keepeth an island. For there may no man pass that way, but he must joust, or he pass. That is an unhappy custom, said Balin, that a knight may not pass this way, but if he joust. Ye shall not have ado, but with one knight, said the lady. Well, said Balin, since I shall thereto, I am ready, but travelling men are oft weary, and their horses too. But though my horse be weary, my heart is not weary, and I would be fain there my death should be. Sir, said a knight to Balin, methinketh your shield is not good. I will lend you a bigger thereof, I pray you. And so he took the shield that was unknown, and he left his own. And so he rode unto the island, and put him and his horse in a great boat. And when he came on the other side, he met with the damsel, and she said, O knight Balin, why have ye left your own shield? Alas, ye have put yourself in great danger, for by your shield ye should have been known. It's a great pity of you, as ever was of a knight, for of thy prowess and hardiness thou hast no fellow living. Me repenteth, said Balin, that ever I came within this country. But I may not turn now again for shame, and what adventure shall fall me, be it life or death, I will take the adventure that comes. And then he looked on his armour, and understood he was well armed, and therewith blessed him, and mounted upon his horse. Ladies and gentlemen, Balin is about to ride on the final adventure of Season 2. We've reached this point. Balin has been warned not to go any further on his journey. A cross with golden letters warned him not to proceed. An old man came from nowhere and warned him not to proceed. A woman has warned him that in swapping his own broken shield for a stronger, larger one, he has made himself unknown. Merlin prophesied that Balin would cause the death of the one he loved most, and that would be his own destruction. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me with tonight's story. Tomorrow night, this will reach its epic conclusion. You do not want to miss this. Blood will be shed. Balin will meet with the knight upon the isle and will joust. Only one man will walk away from tomorrow's joust. Will it be Balin?